Please subscribe to my channel, like and share my videos. And don't forget to click the bell button, therefore you'll be notified for my new upload. Thanks. The application shall further be accompanied by a bond issued by any competent or reputable surety or fidelity or insurance company duly accredited by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner in the sum of not less than 5,000 pesos nor more than 10,000 pesos in the discretion of the Chief, Philippine Constabulary, which bond shall answer for any valid and legal claim against the agency by its clients or employees, provided that license is issued in the province of an authorized representative of the Chief of Constabulary is subject to review by the Chief of Constabulary. Any provision of this or other law to the contrary notwithstanding, the Chief of Constabulary may, at any time suspend or cancel the licenses of private watchman or security guard agency found violating any of the provisions of this Act or of the rules and regulations promulgated by the Chief of Constabulary pursuant thereto. This paragraph was inserted by Sec. 3, Pres. Decree Number 11. Other provisions of Pres. Decree Number 11. Any person who commit any act in violation of Republic Act No. 54, 87 and of this decree, and the implementing rules and regulations already promulgated which are not in conflict herewith, and those to be promulgated by the Chief of Constabulary pursuant hereto, shall, on conviction thereof, suffer imprisonment of from 10 to 15 years and a fine of not less than 10,000 pesos nor more than 15,000 pesos as a military court, tribunal or commission may direct. The Chief of Constabulary shall promulgate the necessary rules and regulations to carry out the provisions of this decree. Section 9. Employees need not be licensed. Every person operating, managing, directing or conducting a licensed private detective or watchman agency shall also be considered licensed private detective or watchman, and no person shall be employed or used in a private detective work unless he be a licensed private detective or watchman, provided that nothing in this section shall be construed as requiring detective license for persons employed solely for clerical or manual work. Section 10. Display of license. The license shall be displayed at all times in a conspicuous and suitable place in the agency office or headquarters of the agency and shall be exhibited at the request of any person whose jurisdiction is in relation with the business of the agency or the employees thereof, or of the Chief of the Philippine Constabulary or his duly authorized representative or any peace officer. Section 11. Supervision of the Philippine Constabulary. Upon approval of this Act, the Philippine Constabulary shall exercise general supervision over the operation of all private detective and watchman or security guard agencies. Section 12. Powers of city or municipal mayors in cases of emergency. In case of emergency or in times of disaster or calamities where the services of such agencies arise, the city or municipal mayor, as Director of Civil Defense, may muster or incorporate the services of the agency nearest the area where such emergency, disaster or calamity arises and its duly licensed personnel to help maintain peace and order, and/or the prevention or apprehension of law violators and in the preservation of life and property. Deputized private detectives, watchmen or security guards shall take direct orders from the Chief of Police for the duration of the fire, inundation, earthquakes, riots or other emergencies. Section 13. Issuance of firearms. A watchman or security agency shall be entitled to possess firearms after having satisfactorily passed the requirements prescribed by the Chief, Philippine Constabulary pertinent to the possession of firearm of any caliber not higher than .45 caliber and a number not exceeding 1 firearm for every 2 watchmen or security guards in its employ, provided, however, that a watchman or security agent shall be entitled to possess not more than 1 riot gun or shotgun in order to provide adequate security when circumstances so demand, provided, further, that all the firearms mentioned herein shall be carried by the watchman or security guard only during his tour of duty in proper uniform within the compound of the establishment except when he escorts big amounts of cash or valuables in and out of said compound. Section 14. Uniform. The uniform of watchman or security guard, as well as those organized, maintained or under the employment of the government or any government-owned and/or controlled corporations, agencies or entities, shall be different from the uniform worn and prescribed for members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, City and Municipal Police Force. The Chief, Philippine Constabulary, through his duly authorized representative shall prescribe the uniform or ornaments, equipment and paraphernalia to be worn by the security guards and watchmen throughout the Philippines. Section 15. Compensation of watchmen or security guards. Watchmen or security guards shall receive a salary not lower than that prescribed in the minimum wage law. Section 16. Limitations and prohibitions. 1. On membership, no agency operating in the city of Manila and suburbs may employ more than 1,000 watchmen or security guards. B. No agency operating in other cities and first-class municipalities may employ more than 500 watchmen or security guards. C. No agency operating in municipalities other than first class may employ more than 200 watchmen or security guards. 2. On organization, no person, corporation, partnership or association may organize more than one agency in any one city or municipality. 3. On service, no agency shall offer, render or accept its services to gambling dens or other illegal enterprises. The extent of the security service being provided by any security agency shall not go beyond the whole compound or property of the person or establishment requesting the security service except when they escort big amount of cash. Section 17. Rules and Regulations by Chief, Philippine Constabulary. The Chief of the Philippine Constabulary, in consultation with the Philippine Association of Detective and Protective Agency Operators, incorporated and subject to the provisions of existing laws, is hereby authorized to issue the rules and regulations necessary to carry out the purpose of this Act. Section 18. Penal Provisions. Any violation of this Act or the rule or regulation issued hereunder shall be punished by suspension, or fine not exceeding P200.00 or cancellation of his or its licenses to operate, conduct, direct or manage a private detective, watchman or security guard agency and all its members in the discretion of the court together with the forfeiture of its bond filed with the Philippine Constabulary. If the violation is committed by those persons mentioned under paragraph 2, section 4 of this Act, the penalty shall be imprisonment ranging from 1 to 4 years and fine ranging from 1 to 4,000 pesos in the discretion of the court. Section 19. Repealing Clause. All laws, rules, resolutions, municipal ordinances, regulations and administrative orders contrary or inconsistent with the provisions hereof are hereby repealed. Section 20. Effectivity. This Act shall take effect upon its approval.